29-22, your score at halftime in the women's matchup. University Athletic Association Sunday play here from Horsburgh Gymnasium. I'm Ron Yance along with the track coach for the men and women here at Case Western Reserve University, Eric Schmuhl. And Eric, did you work your way over from the Veal Center, where the track's at, or did you just come? You did, so you've been here.
Yeah, we have.
So what's going on over there right now?
So every Sunday after a Saturday meet, we'll have a practice session, and I always tell the kids it's like a study break because Sunday is a big day for studying. But it's good to get them active the day after a competition, so they're not just sitting around all day. And so a lot of them are actually up right now in the cardio room. They're getting some work done, and it's a good way to kind of break up the day for them from their studying too.
So they're up there with Mike Becker, our broadcast director, and our entire production team. So
yes,
maybe we can get some of our production guys on those ellipticals and the step climbers and
break a sweat. Yeah,
break a sweat. So tell me about yesterday. What happened at the Veal Center? Was it here yesterday? Or
no, we were out at Spire, out in Geneva.
Yeah,
and every year the first meet coming back is something that makes coaches neurotic because you lose your kids for 5-6 weeks over winter break. You don't know what everybody's doing. People are in different climates, different resources, and so it really is your first chance to see what are you working with. You know, you get a taste of it in December in your first meet, but then it kind of goes dormant for a little bit, and so I didn't know what to expect. I always kind of try and go in without expectation, and I was very widely impressed across all event groups. I think that coming out of the pandemic, you know, we kind of stumbled back into the normalities of things, and now it feels like that culture is coming back where people have very high expectations for themselves, and at the same time they're temperate about how much they expect from themselves in their first meet out. And so a lot of good performances and a lot of positives to walk away with for sure.
What is the overall, helicopter view of an indoor track season, meaning how many meets, how many months, how many weeks committed?
So we start training in October, but as I said, with winter break, it's a very disruptive force in the process. But we have our first meet, usually the first weekend in December, and then by the time we get to coming back to school in January, we'll pick up that usually the Saturday after Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and then we'll go all the way until the first weekend in March. And so
with meets every weekend?
Every Saturday, yeah. And sometimes even 2 meets depending on if we've got, kids that need a little bit more elite competition for their betterment. We'll split the squad up and things like that. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot crammed in there.
So are there as many indoor events as there is in an outdoor event? Like during a track meet indoors, are there as many events as there is in the outdoor?
No, there's a few less. I believe in indoor, I think there's 18, and then there's 24 in outdoor. So it's a little bit different. Outdoor, you pick up 2 throws with the javelin and the discus. Where indoor, you have the weight throw and the shot put only. You pick up steeplechase, you pick up 400 hurdles, you pick up 4x8, stuff like that. So outdoors a lot more. In my opinion, it's more entertaining. There's much more to watch. There's more skills to really fine tune out there. But indoor is a great preparatory phase. It's a nice chance to get out there and do the competition thing. Well, you can't get outside when it's, as you saw outside today, with a couple inches of snow.
Although Kathy Lanise, your distance coach on the track team and the, of course, women's and men's cross-country coach, told me that she has her runners running outside. Not today, but during the winter. So let's look at your program. And are there strengths in areas? Are you strong with sprinters? You strong with distance? You strong in the field events?
Yeah, this year for sure. I mean, we're definitely bolstered heavily by our men's distance group right now. Coming off a national cross-country berth and whatnot, and having, one of the most talented groups in the program's history. Very ambitious guys, very disciplined guys. They're always doing the right things, trying to get better. They see the national view as opposed to just, how good am I on my own team? How good am I on my league? They're looking at, well, where am I ranked in the nation? And so I think that sets a tone for people to think about, think a little bit beyond, dare I say, think beyond the possible.
Right.
Case Western Reserve. And that's probably the group that I think is going to have the most impact in terms of scoring for us. But then not too far behind them, we had a really good recruiting class this year, freshman-wise, with sprinters. And Juan Perez, one of our upperclassmen, came back for a graduate year. And so he kind of has been the leader of that group. And then we just had a new freshman who was a spring admit come in, Josh Bates, who is a very, very gifted young man. I think he's going to help us out quite a bit there. And so there's strength across the board. And on the women's side, we're really good in our jumping events, and we've got some strength across the board in the sprints and some throws. And so I believe in balanced track and field. I don't like the idea of having weaknesses or any particular event. I don't like being a program where that's a sprint program or that's a distance program. And so we try to put emphasis on getting everything together. And this year, for the first time in a while, I've got a really good staff. I've got, I think I have seven assistant coaches that are working with us this year and helping our kids get better every day. And so that's made a huge difference in, I think, our ambitions and our identity, and really thinking beyond our base talent.
How does an athlete, track athlete specifically, obviously talking to you, find their way to Case Western Reserve? Is it a combination of recruiting and interest in a major that they have here that they really like? It's certainly not the bonus of a scholarship,
right?
Because you don't get that. But how do they find themselves here?
I talk about this all the time. I think that what's beautiful about Case is that the kids find Case before they find Case track and field, and so they're very serious about their schoolwork. They're very serious about coming here and being successful in the classroom. And so at the end of the day, it's almost like the system kind of does a lot of that work for you. You find those really gifted, self-disciplined kids that they want to be here for biomedical engineering or for computer science, whatever it is, and then they love track. And that's all I ask, is that you get your schoolwork done, you're successful there, and then you love the sport. And I think there's a lot of gravity to that, because a serious kid in the classroom is a serious kid on the track. And so it kind of does a lot of the work for us. I think my biggest challenge is always making sure I'm trying to be, the best coach, understanding their plight as a student at the school, and going through all the rigor there. But I think we do a great job of that. I think they all would say that we're pretty fair and reasonable about our expectations for them, for sure.
Like the Sunday rest from studying day.
That's right, man. Yeah. I'm thinking about their well-being.
Right. Eric Schmuhl, the head track coach, both the men and women here at Case Western Reserve University. Thanks for joining us here at halftime.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it.
And good luck this indoor season.
Thank you.